What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vault Hunters. Today's episode is going to be a little bit all over the place. We did a lot of the early game grind, a lot of farm building for vanilla style things, and we got our first mod. As you can see behind me here, we got a fancy cooking with blockheads mod. It's basically a modular kitchen where the cabinets and the stove and the little fruit basket and all that kind of stuff all links up together. It's a pretty cool mod. I haven't seen a lot of people go for that first with their knowledge stars they get in this mod pack because they're so uncommon and kind of grindy to get. But I don't know, it was something that interested me, so I figured I'd try it out. It's been pretty fun so far. Got a lot to cover in today's episode. A lot of house progress. I'm gonna give you a small tour here, kind of catch you up to what's been going on around the house. Give you a small vanilla farming tour of some of the more basic farms that we've built since the last time we touched base. As you can see, my vault level's up to 21 now. We're encroaching on the level 25 moment where you basically get access to most of the mods, or not mods, abilities within this pack. A lot of this stuff doesn't really unlock till level 25, 25. Some much higher than 25, but a good majority of them comes at level 25, which is awesome. Kind of opens the pack all up. So, starting with the tour here, let me go back into first person. So the house is largely the same as it was in the stream where I built it. I did add a little chimney. You can see the happenings of a iron farm over there. We'll cover that in a moment. Uh, really like this house design. It's working pretty good for our needs so far. It's pretty sizable. Most of the storage is now moved into the basement. We got all the storage and stuff down here. Got a couple little automatic bamboo and sugarcane farms. Um, got Olaf, our snowball supplier. And then down here you have, of course, the villager trading area, which is very important early game in Vault Hunters. As you'll see in this video, we die in the vaults quite a bit, so being able to restock on diamond gear from these guys and enchantments from these guys is very beneficial. And with the twerker mod that kind of just speeds up growth of crops and stuff, you can really pump out some emeralds pretty quickly. So that is one thing that definitely helps alleviate the grind just a little bit, because this mod pack is very grindy. It's a lot of fun though. So as you can see, it's still very much a work in progress. Redoing the ceiling and trying to clean things up a little bit. This is kind of more what the final design will look like. We've got a lot of different traders from, look familiar, huh? A lot of different traders from the vault cores, the trader cores that we've been getting. Some good, some not so good, you know, just kind of hit or miss. Alright, so taking a little bit of a closer look at the Cooking for Blockheads mod. It's a pretty interesting mod. I could see this being pretty beneficial if you had like Farmer's Delight and other kinds of cooking mods installed. For us, it's really just a ease of use kind of thing. You throw all the ingredients you have into the cabinets and stuff, and as long as they're all connected via the floor blocks or connected like this right next to each other, you can pretty much access and craft any of the items you want. So for instance, we have a cow in a jar. If you take the wheat here and the eggs over here, the sugar is actually up here. You can just come here and simply click on that, click craft, and boom, got a cake that easy. Really enjoy this mod. It's really clean and easy to use as far as user interface is concerned, and just figuring it out. I didn't need a tutorial or anything like that. You just plop everything down next to each other and you are good to go. Really cool mod. We don't have a sink yet. The sink is actually very expensive, so if you come in here and you grab a sink, it requires an infinite water bucket, which is a pog gem, and that's just, honestly, for where we're at right now, it's not worth using all of our vault gems for a sink. But the rest of the mod functions very well. I enjoy it. It's a nice look to the house too. It gives it a a nice homey feel instead of it just being chests and storage in our living room. Alright, looking at the first farm. Ooh. Alright. Looking back at the first farm here that we're going to be covering today as far as vanilla farms goes. This is a gold farm that I designed that's really, I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. Villager scare mechanics make gold farms pretty easy. I'm not sure if this is technically a quad farm or not. I've seen iron golems spawning in all four of these pods simultaneously, so I'm assuming that they are far enough away to be classified as four separate villages. As you can see, there is a little bit of an issue with them spawning with their hitbox in the edge of the wall. If anybody has any help for that, it would be greatly appreciated. I mean, eventually they do what that one just did and, you know, find their way out of it and die or whatever, but it does impact rates a little bit. Farms are nothing too out of this world. Got golems spawning pretty religiously, just using these named zombies over here to scare the villagers. Kind of cruel to the villagers, but it's good for us, you know? They're not actually getting hurt, they're just making sure we got a good ample supply of iron coming in, which we certainly do. I've already got like 3 stacks of blocks in the house now. This thing pumps out iron pretty good. I'm not sure the exact per hour rates, but they are more than enough than what we're needing at this point in time. For our next farm here, we're going to have to run on through to the nether. So as stated in the last episode, gold farms are pretty crucial to vault hunters just for getting your golden apples for your healing potions early game. I do have a drown farm that I built over that way that does not seem to work very well. It works alright for collecting tridents and stuff of that nature. But we're going to go ahead and climb to the top of this ladder. I'll see you at the top. This is a gold farm designed by Ep.2 It. It's very strong. It's a very good low effort kind of farm as far as the building goes. It's very cheap on materials. Most of it is taking place right below the bedrock ceiling, as you can see by this 2x2 chunk square that I had to hollow out. The rates are pretty good. The only downside to this farm is that if somebody else is online on the server, you can't sit here and farm them as you would normally because they go through a portal and go to the overworld and then come through the overworld portal to get up here to the killing platform. You just basically use lava to burn off the stuff. I'll leave a link in the description to Ian's design. Super good design early game. Has a couple of downsides, but it's very good for collecting, you know, ingots and nuggets and stuff like that. You can just sit here with the looting sword and swing all you want to get some levels and also get your gold. I'll have some B-roll footage of that farm in action. Alright, and for our second farm of the day, it's actually an upgraded gold farm so that it can be used whenever more than one person is on the server at any given point. This is a gold farm designed by Ninbom, and it's also modified by Iskal. I believe it was from Hermitcraft Season 7 that he actually used this particular farm. It's a very good farm. The spawn rates are pretty insane. You can use it with looting, but from my experience, it's a little bit easier to just AFK it. You get better rates this way, or at least comparable rates, and it doesn't require spawn proofing of any of the nether below. But you just have your basic spawning platforms. The link to, I don't believe there's a tutorial for this out there. There are world downloads, and you could use something like Matica to build it for yourself if you wanted to. Just got some glass blocks up top to keep the gas from spawning, because nobody wants gas, at least when you're AFK. And they get drawn to the turtle eggs in the middle. Pretty universally understood mechanic. And then they just fall all the way down to their deaths there. As you can see, the rates are pretty good. It's a pretty steady flow of piglin carnage. The sorting system is pretty smart here. It bundles the items up using cobwebs, and then it will push the blocks down, or push them down one step at a time, essentially, as to not overflood the system, even though it has more than enough storage to pull any of the gold ingots you'd want, or gold nuggets, excuse me. But yeah, this is just a bulk storage system, nothing too fancy. Got a few item filters on there, and it'll just burn off any of the rotten flesh that you don't want. Makes it through the filter and sizzles out. Very, very nice farm. Wasn't too awful to build. The worst part was probably gathering all the magma blocks, but if there's a couple of you, it won't take long at all. It's something like 6,000 magma blocks, I believe. But yeah, this thing works very, very nice for its size, and the fact that it pumps out very similar rates regardless of who's doing what on the server. You could have people in the overworld, people in the end, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna just keep spawning piglins, and that is exactly what we needed. On to the next farm. Alright, well, we have made our way over here to this small little desert biome, kind of at the north side of the map. This is actually right by where our ender portal is. Nice multi-use thing here. We can come out here if we want to go to the end. We can come out here if we want to gather a bunch of sand. Let's flow on down to the end realm right quick. And take a look at what's going on here. This is the wonderful Enderman XP farm that everyone is so familiar with. This is a design I just threw together. I mean, there's not really a whole lot that goes into Enderman farms. These guys are mad at me, but whatever. They essentially spawn on that little platform out there. They get angry, they rush at the Endermite, they run up here. There's no way for them to come out. Obviously, this farm isn't 100% perfect. There's XP, they get stuck because of the carpets and whatnot, but I mean, it works great enough for what we're using it for. You can sit here and get XP pretty quickly. You just ideally, you want to be using a sharpness sword as well. Mine has smite on it for clearing vaults and slaying zombies, but a sharpness sword will really cut through these guys, and I mean, you get XP pretty quickly. You can just sit here with a auto clicker or something like that. We have more ender pearls than we necessarily need early game, but they will be coming in handy much later on as we unlock more mods and stuff like that. Get out of here. Go on. Yeah, pretty happy with this design though. It works well enough. You just have a few hoppers that pick up the drops and, you know, put them into the chest. Nothing too major. You just, if you're ever making one of these for yourself, you just have to definitely make sure that your endermite is safe from them, because yeah, having them destroy your endermite is a pain in the butt once you already have the spawning platform made. Trying to redo the Endermite and stuff while you have 100 Endermen coming in at you is not a great feeling, so definitely try to bring a friend and have them stand over there to kind of deactivate the spawning platform if you need to work on something like this after it's already built. We have made a decent amount of progress into the mod pack, but we're still pretty early game as far as the mod pack itself is concerned. We did, I mean, you can see me flying around. We did make a short trip to go gather some wings. Um, I say a short trip. It was a substantial trip, but a very boring one. So in my opinion, it really wasn't worth recording. It was just, hoping to see an end city and then really hoping for a ship, which it took a while. I found quite a few end cities before I found enough ships for all three of the people who play on this server to have wings. And we're back over at the house. I'm going to continue working on this house as we go. This is kind of where I keep the gifter statues and stuff up here. You know, some backstock of storage and stuff of that nature. Nothing too exciting. Really happy with the way it's shaping up in here, though. The house itself is coming along greatly. This right here is actually a mine shaft down to where we go and hunt for vault diamonds. And as you can see from my inventory, I do have a picker ring. We actually managed to grab a few of those from some vaults. I say a few, we literally got 2, but I mean, hey. 2 is better than none, right? The last thing I'd like to show you guys around the house area up here is the natural disaster that we have found ourselves faced with. So when I was in the house working on something, lightning had struck out here, and as you can tell from the map, it pretty much decimated this cherry blossom forest quite a bit. It is very ugly. I've been kind of running around out here attempting to clean it up with this picker-ring. I was worried it would literally overtake this entire forest, which I do believe it would have. I think it would have pushed over this way and then slowly burned the whole thing out, because I have put out some of this since I turned off fire spreads. But that's something that was not so great. Really like this forest, so we're going to either have to replant it or maybe plant some different wood types and kind of have a little path of different wood that comes through here. That would look kind of cool. You can actually see it got pretty close around the back here. If it would have just spread to right there, it would have pretty much taken out the entire thing. And it almost connected up right here and burned down the house itself, which would not have been a great time. It was like two trees away from just overtaking this whole area, which I'm glad it didn't, but man, it already had done so much damage at that point, you know? At that point, it's like, well, just take the house too, I guess. Alright guys, well thanks for tuning in and checking out the progress on Vault Hunters. We've been making tons of it. I'll be sure to record more as we get to level 25 and get on our way through finding some vault loot and things of that nature. It's looking pretty good on the server so far. I got a lot of work to do, a lot of cleaning up to do. So yeah, if you want some more Vault Hunters action, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.